Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing good today. So in today's video, I am going to talk about my favorite bronzer for this summer season. So these are my top 10 favorite bronzers and all of these are affordable, on the affordable side, so that it does cater to a variety of people, and I feel like my videos do need variety. So even if it's affordable, some are really cheap and some are like moderately priced. So let's get into the video now. Also, if you are someone who's new to my channel, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like it here. I hope you like the vibe. I hope you like the content. If you end up liking the content, you can hit the subscribe button, along with that the notification bell as well. So let's get into the video now. So before jumping into the video, I do want to say what brushes I will be using to give you guys the swatches on my face. I will not be using any sort of foundation when I'll be swatching all these products on my face, because I cannot just put on foundation, reapply it over and over again. My skin is just going to go through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply the bronzer on one cheek so that you can see how the color pigment is. So that is how I am going to show you guys the swatches. So let's talk about the brushes that I'll be using. So these are the brushes that I will be using. So all of these are really good brushes for bronzer. This is the Wet n Wild powder brush, really amazing, really big, great for applying a bronzer. This is the Plume P01 brush. Again, a really good bronzer brush, and this is the Real Techniques foundation brush. This is a little bit on the thick side and the dense side. It's really great to apply bronzer precisely. And next we have, this is the Pigment Play stippling brush, really good to apply bronzer very evenly, and it's quite big as well. So let's dive in with the bronzers now. So the first bronzer that I have here is the My Glam bronzer duo. So this is a newer favorite of mine. I honestly never thought I was going to like this as much as I do. I really love the quality of this bronzer, and this retails for 699 rupees. You can get it at 50% off flat if you use the code that I'll leave down below. And yeah, if you go to my store on Hype, you can get this on 50% off if you use the code at the checkout. It's a limited offer, so if you really want to get this one, you can go ahead and use the code and yeah, just purchase it. So anyway, this is the bronzer duo, and this has one side, it has a little bit of a warm color, and one side it has a neutral color. First of all, I love the texture of this bronzer. I honestly think that it's really underrated. Even for me, I keep on seeing this bronzer pop up on my Amazon page. I have seen this so many times, but I never thought of buying it because I thought it was just going to be just like any other bronzer. But the finish of this bronzer is very, very satin like. It's not like your typical complete matte bronzer or complete shimmery bronzer. It's right somewhere in between. It doesn't have visible shimmers though, not at all. When you see this, it's like it looks matte, but it has a very nice soft satin feel to it, which makes it super, I would say super, like blendable on the skin, and super natural. Also, I love that this one is kind of pigmented, but not too pigmented as well. It is a little bit on the powdery side, so when you are applying this bronzer, just make sure you tap off the brush and apply it. I love the tone of this bronzer. I really think that this is going to suit a variety of medium skin tones, and you can use this as an eyeshadow as well, because I love the neutral tones that this bronzer has. And you can use this during summers, and you can use this during winters as well. So it's not just your summer bronzer, you can use this in the winter too. Absolutely love the formula. I was blown away by the quality. You can go ahead and purchase it down. I'll leave all the links. The next bronzer I have here is a complete summer bronzer, and the only con I would say, or disadvantage of this bronzer, is that it doesn't come in a variety of shade. It just comes in one shade and that's it. So this is the Coloressence Matte Bronzer. This is a little bit on the pigmented side. As you can see, this is extremely warm. I feel like it is going to suit again a variety of medium to dusky skin as well. The fact about this bronzer is that it just melts into your skin. It's a little bit on the powdery side, I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit powdery. But you can use this as a warm eyeshadow and just as your bronzer and a blush too, like a two-in-one thing, and it is going to give you that monochromatic warm look. I love to use this during sunny days. It looks beautiful on brown skin, I cannot tell you. If you use this as your eyeshadow and as a bronzer and kind of like a blush as well, you look so simple. At the same time, this gives such a nice vibe to your makeup. I absolutely love it. So if you're looking for really nice warm bronzer with a really good quality, then you can totally look for this. This retails for, I think this retails for 350 rupees. Really good, affordable, and I absolutely love the formula of this as well. Just, you know, whenever you're using this, just tap off the brush, because again, this is a little bit on the powdery side. It's a complete matte bronzer. It does not have any shimmers to it. So the next product I have here is a palette. I would say it's not exactly like a one sort of a bronzer. So this is the Swiss Beauty Sculpt and Lift Contour Palette. Now they say this is a contour palette. You can totally use this as a contour or a bronzer as well. So I got the shade 01. 01 actually suits medium skin too. So if you want a one-in-done kind of a palette where you get neutral tones, where you get a little bit of that warm tone, a setting powder, and a little bit of that shimmery powder, this is going to be the one for you. So this one has as you can see, two shades in here. One is a little bit darker, which you can use it as your contour, I think so. And one is a little bit on the warmer side. I love the tones in here. They complement each other really well. What I like to do personally is I like to use both these products together at the same time. I don't like to use only one shade because then it kind of looks muddy on my skin tone. I love to mix both these products and just apply it on my skin. The formula of this is a little bit stiffer, on the stiff side. It's not as powdery as the My Glam one or the Coloressence one. So you can just apply this and it's never going to look too much on your skin. So this one is again very affordable, and you do get four shades in here that you can mix and match, and you can use the other two shades as your under eye setting powder too if you want to. So I feel like this is again going to be a really good product for beginners, I think so. And this is in the shade 01. The next bronzer I have here is for dusky skin. So this, if you are someone who's looking for a really good bronzer that is pigmented, and if you have dusky skin, I know it's very hard for dusky skin people to find a good bronzer that is not only affordable, at the same time it doesn't look muddy on your skin, it doesn't pull the orange look or look reddish. I think this is going to be the perfect one for you. So this is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. I got this because I thought it was going to be my shade, but it's not. It's a little bit dark for me, but again, if you have dusky skin, if you have skin tone a little, if you fall into the dark skin category, oh my god, this bronzer is going to look delicious on you. So this pulls, I would say, a little bit more on the neutral warm side. It's not completely a warm tone bronzer. It has that neutral tones to it, which is going to match with your dark skin, and it's not going to pull off more red or orange. So if you're scared of that red and orange bronzer, this is going to be the one for you. I like to use this again as a crease eyeshadow too because of the shade. It looks beautiful. It's a neutral brown on my skin, but again, I love the formula. It's a little bit on the pigmented side, so when you initially first apply this, you can get a lot of pigment at one go. So just make sure to use a little bit of light hand when you go in with this bronzer, and you're good to go. The formula again of this is matte as well. It does not contain any shimmers in here. So the next bronzer that I have here that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about, and it's quite underrated, and I have used this time and again. This is my everyday go-to bronzer, I would say. So this is the Cuffs and Lashes Cuppy Cake Bronzer, and it's in the shade Endless Summer. Now just look at the tone of this bronzer. It matches my undertone pretty well. Like, it's one shade or two shades darker than my natural skin tone. So that is why I love it, because it just gives me me that very natural soft bronze effect, and that is something that I look for in an everyday basis. So this is again a product that is not too pigmented, it's not too stiff. I feel like it is right there in between. It's moderately pigmented, it is a matte bronzer, it does not contain any sort of shimmer in here, and I absolutely love the formula. I feel like this is something that a lot of people can, you know, use as well. Doesn't matter if you have oily skin, doesn't matter if you fall into the dark skin category, because I do think that Cuffs and Lashes have good range when it comes to bronzers. I have seen a lot of you know, their dark shades as well online, so you can totally look for those. This retails for 245 rupees only, and I totally love it. If you want a really, you know, bronzer that is quite cute and very small, you can carry this anywhere in your purse. I do think that you're going to love the formula of the Cuffs and, you know, Lashes bronzer. And I think Cuffs and Lashes is now available exclusively on Purple only. I have seen her talk about, you know, going exclusive with Purple, so I think so you're going to get this on Purple. But I think that the shades on these bronzers are beautiful. I have seen the lighter shades as well, and the lighter shades are going to suit a lot of fair skin tones. I feel like bronzers here in India are either made for medium skin or medium dark. For extremely dusky skin, I feel like there are hardly any bronzer, and for extremely light skin also, I feel like there are hardly any bronzer. So you can totally check out the Cuffs and Lashes collection if you have extremely fair skin too and extremely dusky skin too. I feel like you're going to get yourself a good shade match in the bronzer category. So the next bronzer I have here is from Makeup Revolution, and this is the Super Bronzer. This retails for only 499 rupees. Yeah, I think it retails for 499 rupees, and you can get this on sale all the time. So the thing I like about this bronzer, and it makes, you know, this is quite unique, I would say, is because of the undertone that this one has. Now this one, when you see it on the pan, you feel like, okay, this is just like unlike any other bronzer, right? But no, when you put this on your skin, it translates into a really nice bronzer that has a little bit of that pink undertone to it. So yeah, as I was saying, this has a little bit of that pink undertone to it, which makes it super flattering on my skin tone. This one, when I feel like I put it all over my skin, I feel like I don't even have to go in with a blush. It's that good. I mean, when you think about having a pink undertone in your bronzer, I feel like you're going to say, okay, I mean, it's not going to look flattering, but it does. This actually looks too intimidating when you see it in the pan. You feel like this is just not going to look good as a bronzer, but I'm telling you, if you want a little bit of that uniqueness to your bronzer, to have a little bit of that not only just warm undertone, but you can use the bronzer as your blush too. So I feel like you can definitely go for this, and for the price, I feel like the quality is also really good. It's not too pigmented, it again is moderately pigmented, and the formula is not too powdery, so you can just go in with this bronzer if you are a beginner as well. So the next bronzer I have here is a bronzer that I feel like a lot of people who have medium, fair to medium skin tone can wear this. This is again a warm bronzer that you can use during, you know, the summertime. Now when you see this, you feel like, okay, this is exactly going to be like the Coloressence one, but let me just pull up the Coloressence one. So this is not similar. As you can see, the Coloressence one is a little bit on the lighter side, and the e.l.f. one is a little bit on the deeper side. So there is a, you know, a little bit of a difference. And when you put this on your skin, the Coloressence one turns into a little bit more warm than the e.l.f. one. So if you feel like the Coloressence one is going to be a little bit warm for you, you can choose the e.l.f. one. The e.l.f. one is not too pigmented like the Coloressence one. The e.l.f. one has really good pigmentation to it as well. It is going to be a perfect bronzer, I feel like, for, again, for medium, light medium and medium tan as well. This does not have any red undertone to it. This has a little bit of a warm undertone, but sometimes it pulls off in the neutral side as well. It depends on your skin tone too. So yeah, I feel like this is again a perfect bronzer for me for this summer season. I always, you know, tend to use this when I feel like the sun is out and I just don't have time, you know, to do a really complete whole look. So I'll just put this like all over my face and just go out the door. So the next bronzer I have here is super affordable, and not only that, they are amazing quality. So they only retail for 80 rupees. And I know, just look at the shade. This is going to suit a lot of dark skin tones. Like if you have dark skin, you are going to enjoy this bronzer. This looks a little bit on the reddish side, I feel like, but when you put this, it pulls more neutral than red. When I saw this, I was like, this is going to be, you know, this is going to have a little bit of the reddish undertone, but it doesn't. It's more neutral. All these bronzers either have you know, I would say warm undertone or neutral undertone. This falls in the neutral undertone category. Okay, this one broke. I mean, it's 80 rupees. What can I expect? But yeah. So yeah, so this is the shade Contour. I have another shade for medium skin, for skin, you know, skin tone who have skin like me. What am I saying? I have another shade for people with my skin tone. I cannot open this, but this one kind of broke. So this, as you can see, I cannot even lift this one up. So as you can see, this is the shade right here. This is the shade Contour, and this is the shade Dusky. So Dusky is a little bit on the warm side and has a little bit of that warm undertone to it. But Contour is completely good for someone who has dusky skin and dark skin. I feel like you're going to like this. These are not too pigmented, but they are not powdery as well. Like they are not powdery at all, but they are pigmented, as you can see right here. They are pigmented. So the last two bronzers that I wanted to recommend to you guys, because I have them and I constantly use them. So this is the Huda Beauty Glowish Bronzer, and I have talked about how much I love this bronzer, so I'm not going to go too much deep into it. But I absolutely love the formula, you guys. I think so for 1,500. It was an investment for me when I got this because I didn't have that much of money. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get it because I feel like this is going to work for me really, really well. And I am so happy that I did. This is a product that I do not regret buying. I saved my money for it and I am happy that I got it. This has a little bit of the pink undertone. Whenever I use this, I just feel like my bronzer looks so natural. It doesn't even look like I have any makeup on. It has, again, a very, very satin type of finish to it. It has this marble pattern. I love, love, love this bronzer. You can get the mini one. The mini one retails for 1,500 if you want to. I mean, these two bronzers are not affordable, as I said, but I love it. I just had to mention them because this is my favorite bronzer video. So if I don't mention them, I would be lying to you guys. So yeah, I totally love this bronzer. It is just my favorite. So another bronzer that I constantly use is the Sephora Bronzer. I think this retails for 1,800. Now hear me out. This bronzer is it's kind of very similar to all the bronzers that I have. Again, this has a very nice matte finish to it. And it is not too pigmented. So whenever I'm like, you know, digging my fingers in here, I cannot get that much of pigment at all. And that is why I love it, because again, it is super, super natural. The formula is really good. When I see this, I'm like, is this unlike any other bronzer? Is this worth spending your money on? I feel like this bronzer is going to last you for a really, really long time because of the formula of this. It's not powdery at all. You can put layers and layers of the Sephora bronzer and still look beautiful and still look natural, and that is my vibe, honestly. So that is why I like to use this. Sometimes my skin tone, like whenever I have a little bit of tan on, I don't know what bronzer to use because some bronzers doesn't look good when I have a tan on. So this is the bronzer that always works for me, and I can sometimes even go overboard with this bronzer and it still looks super natural. So I had to mention this one to you guys as well. So these are all my top 10 bronzers, and I absolutely love each and every one of them. So I'm not saying that you guys should have all these 10 different bronzers. You can choose whichever is going to suit with your skin tone, with your preference, and you can go for any one of this. I just wanted you guys to have choices while purchasing a bronzer this summer season. So yeah, let me know if this video was helpful, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.